Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we're going to zero in on something that I think keeps a lot of business owners and C-level execs up at night. All those SEO metrics
Yeah.
and all the advice that you get on how to improve them. But here's a curveball. We got some intel straight from Google, and they're actually warning against getting too hung up on certain SEO tool metrics. Intrigued?
Hmm.
Let's dive in. I'm Lex, and with me as always is Vera, and we're here to unpack all this for you.
It definitely goes against what a lot of SEO gurus are preaching out there.
Exactly. You're bombarded with all these tips and you're supposed to chase these magical numbers. But what if those numbers aren't telling the whole story? We're going to use an article from Search Engine Journal featuring some insights from Google's own John Mueller to help you avoid some of those common pitfalls.
Okay, he would know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you know how we're all striving for that top spot on Google, right?
Right.
And we're told that certain metrics like domain authority are key to getting there. So imagine this. You're putting in the work, building your website, creating content, but then you see your domain authority is tanked, like 50% dropped. Panic mode.
It's a common reaction, especially if you've bought into the idea that domain authority directly translates to Google rankings.
Right. So what does John Mueller have to say about this?
Well, he's cautioning against fixating on those third-party SEO tool metrics. They can be useful for spotting trends, but they don't have a direct line to Google's ranking algorithms.
Wait, so a big DA drop doesn't necessarily mean Google sees my site as worse.
Not at all. The article actually uses a great example of a website owner who was frantic about a DA plunge. Coupled with a sudden influx of spammy backlinks and comments, they were convinced that Google was penalizing them.
Oh, that's interesting. So, okay, here's the million-dollar question.
Right.
Why are these third-party metrics often so different from what Google is actually using?
Because they're based on the SEO tool's own data and algorithms, which are different from how Google evaluates sites. They're estimations, not gospel.
So we're chasing numbers that might not even reflect reality. This is getting interesting.
And this is where a lot of business owners get tripped up by those quick fix schemes. You see a metric drop, and you scramble to boost it back up, even if the tactics are ultimately detrimental.
So what's the alternative? If we shouldn't obsess over these external metrics, what should we be focusing on?
Mueller's advice is surprisingly straightforward. Build genuine value. Create unique, high-quality content that caters to what people actually want to find online.
Okay, I get that. Great content, happy customers.
Yeah.
But let's be real, the internet is saturated with content. How can any of us create something truly unique when it seems like everything's been done?
Well, Mueller addresses this head-on in the article. He clarifies that unique doesn't necessarily mean a never-before-seen combination of words. It's about offering something genuinely valuable, something your competitors can't easily replicate.
So it's not just about churning out content. It's about finding that special something that sets us apart.
Exactly. And this is where understanding your specific audience and your unique selling proposition become crucial. What do you bring to the table that nobody else does?
That makes me think of our sponsor for this deep dive, Shield Media. They're a digital marketing agency with a very specific focus. They specialize in local SEO, PPC, and SMM, specifically geared towards helping Western clients.
And that's a perfect example of finding your niche. They're not just saying we do SEO, they're targeting a specific audience and offering tailored expertise.
Right. They're not trying to be everything to everyone. They're laser focused on what they do best, which ultimately makes them stand out in a crowded market.
And that's something all business owners and C-level execs should be thinking about. What's your unique angle? How can you offer something truly valuable and different in your market?
Right. How can you offer something that nobody else is offering? We'll be back after a quick break to explore how to put all of this into action. Don't go anywhere. All right, we're back, and I'm ready to put this build genuine value advice into practice. But honestly, where do we even start? It's one thing to say create great content, but it feels like a whole other beast to actually make that happen.
It can definitely feel overwhelming, but let's break it down. Think about your ideal customer, that person you really want to reach. What are they searching for online? What are their pain points, their burning questions, the solutions they crave?
So it's about going beyond just throwing keywords into a blog post.
Exactly. Keywords are still relevant, but they're just the starting point. They help people find your content, but the content itself is what keeps them engaged and ideally turns them into customers.
Okay, so keywords get them in the door, but the content seals the deal.
Think of it this way. If someone lands on your website and it's just a bunch of keyword-stuffed fluff, they're going to bounce right back to Google and click on the next result. But if your content is genuinely helpful, insightful, and maybe even a little entertaining, they're more likely to stick around, explore your site, and ultimately take that next step, whether that's signing up for your newsletter, requesting a quote, or making a purchase.
So we need content that's both discoverable and valuable. But that still doesn't solve the problem of standing out from the crowd.
Hmm.
How do we make our content truly unique when it feels like everything's already been said and done online?
That's where you need to tap into your unique value proposition. What do you offer that nobody else does? What perspective or expertise can you bring to the table that truly sets you apart? What's the special sauce that makes your business, well, your business?
It sounds like it could be anything from a unique approach to a common problem, a specialized blend of services, or even your company culture or brand personality.
Absolutely. It's about identifying those elements that make you, well, you, and then weaving those elements into your content in a way that feels authentic and engaging. It's about showcasing your expertise, your personality, and your passion in a way that resonates with your audience.
I see what you mean. For example, if Shield Media were creating content for their website, they wouldn't just talk about SEO in a generic way. They'd highlight their expertise in local SEO, PPC, and SMM, and emphasize their focus on helping Western clients.
Right. They'd showcase their deep understanding of the specific challenges and opportunities faced by businesses in those markets. And they'd back it up with case studies, testimonials, and real-world results that demonstrate their ability to deliver tangible value.
It's like taking those broad SEO principles
Yeah.
and laser focusing them on a specific audience and their unique needs. You're not trying to appeal to everyone. You're speaking directly to the people who are most likely to become your customers.
Exactly. And that's how you create content that not only ranks well in search results, but also converts those visitors into leads and customers. It's about aligning your content strategy with your overall business goals.
All right, let's get down to brass tacks. I'm a business owner fired up and ready to take my content to the next level. What are some concrete steps I can take?
First, take a long, hard look at your existing content. Is it truly serving your audience? Is it answering their questions? Is it addressing their pain points? Is it providing real value? Or is it just taking up space on your website?
So step one is to audit our content, see what's working, what's not, and where the gaps are.
Precisely. Once you have a clear understanding of your current content landscape, you can start brainstorming new content ideas. Look for opportunities to create in-depth guides, tutorials, case studies, even videos or infographics that provide real value and showcase your expertise. Think about the formats and mediums that your audience prefers and tailor your content accordingly.
I love it. And let's not forget about getting creative. We've talked about the importance of standing out. Maybe it's creating a quiz or a poll relevant to your industry. Or maybe it's hosting a webinar or a podcast that dives deep into a specific topic.
Absolutely. Think outside the blog post. And remember, creating great content is only half the battle. You also need to promote it effectively. Share it on social media. Reach out to influencers in your industry. Consider running targeted ads to get it in front of the right people.
Because even the most brilliant, most valuable content won't do any good if nobody sees it. It's like that old saying, if a tree falls in the forest and nobody's around to hear it, does it make a sound?
Yeah.
Well, if you create amazing content and nobody sees it, does it really exist?
I love that analogy. So create a content promotion strategy that complements your content creation efforts. And don't forget to track your results. See what's resonating with your audience, what's driving traffic and conversions, and adjust your strategy accordingly.
It's all about constant iteration rounds. We're not just creating content and then forgetting about it. We're constantly analyzing, refining, and improving based on the data we're gathering. We're learning, adapting, and evolving.
Exactly. And that's how you build long-term value, establish your brand as an authority, and achieve lasting success in the constantly evolving digital landscape. It's not about quick fixes. It's about playing the long game.
Now, I know a lot of business owners might be thinking, this all sounds fantastic, but I'm already swamped. I don't have the time or resources to create all this amazing content and promote it effectively. And that's where a company like Shield Media comes in, right?
That's right. They have a team of experienced digital marketers who can help you develop and execute a content strategy that aligns with your business goals. They can handle everything from keyword research and content creation to content promotion and analytics tracking.
It's like having an entire marketing department at your fingertips. Without the overhead of building an in-house team,
Exactly. And because they specialize in working with Western clients, they understand the nuances of those markets and can tailor their strategies accordingly.
so if you're feeling overwhelmed by the complexities of SEO, or if you just not see the results you want from your current efforts, It might be time to call in the experts. Shield Media can help you navigate the digital landscape and achieve lasting success online.
Absolutely. And remember, we're not just about dropping knowledge bombs and leaving you to figure it all out on your own. We want to empower you with the tools and insights you need to succeed.
All right, let's shift gears a bit. We've talked a lot about content, but as we hinted at earlier, content is just one piece of the puzzle.
There's a whole other layer that's crucial for SEO success, and that's the technical foundation of your website.
Welcome back. We've been unpacking the truth about SEO metrics and the importance of creating genuinely valuable content. But as we teased before, there's another critical layer we need to peel back. The technical side of your website.
Right, because even the most brilliant content and savvy strategy won't get you far if your website's technical foundation is shaky. Think of it like building a house. You could have beautiful furniture and stunning decor. But if the foundation is crumbling, the whole thing falls apart.
Okay, that's a great analogy. So when we talk about the technical side of SEO, what are we really talking about?
We're talking about making sure your website is structured in a way that search engines can easily understand and access. This involves things like site speed, mobile friendliness, security, and a clear site architecture.
I feel like most business owners have at least heard of these concepts, but could we unpack why they're so crucial for SEO success?
Absolutely. Let's start with mobile friendliness. Google prioritizes mobile-first indexing, which means they primarily use the mobile version of your website to determine rankings. Think about your own browsing habits. How often are you searching for something on your phone?
Oh, all the time. Honestly, probably more than on my desktop.
And that's the case for most people these days. So if your website isn't optimized for mobile, you're risking a poor user experience, which can lead to higher bounce rates and ultimately fewer conversions.
That makes sense. People are impatient. If a site doesn't load quickly or is difficult to navigate on their phone, they'll just hit the back button and go to your competitor.
Exactly. And speaking of speed, that's another critical factor. Site speed directly impacts user experience. And Google takes that very seriously. They want to deliver the best possible results to their users, which means prioritizing websites that load quickly.
So if our site is slow, we're not just annoying our visitors, we're potentially hurting our rankings as well.
Precisely. And there are a lot of things that can contribute to a slow website, like bulky images, excessive code, or a lack of caching. It's worth digging into these technical aspects to see if there are any easy wins to improve your site speed.
Okay, and then there's security. I know that's become a big deal for Google in recent years. Why is that so important from an SEO perspective?
Security is paramount, both for user trust and SEO. Having an SSL certificate installed on your site, which you can tell by that little padlock icon in the address bar, encrypts the data transmitted between your site and the user's browser. This is essential for protecting sensitive information, like credit card details or login credentials.
So it's not just about looking good to Google, it's about protecting our visitors and building trust with them.
Right, and Google has explicitly stated that they prioritize secure websites in their rankings. So investing in security is not just good practice, it's good for your SEO.
Okay, we've covered mobile friendliness, site speed, and security. What about site architecture? What does that mean in the context of SEO?
Site architecture refers to how your website is organized and structured. Think of it as the blueprint of your site. A clear, logical site architecture makes it easier for search engines to crawl your site and understand the relationship between your pages.
So it's about creating a hierarchy of information with clear categories and subcategories. That makes sense to both users and search engines?
Exactly, and this involves things like having a clear sitemap, using internal linking to connect relevant pages, and making sure your URLs are descriptive and easy to understand.
It sounds like there's a lot to think about when it comes to the technical side of SEO. If someone is listening to this and feeling overwhelmed, what would you recommend as a first step?
A great starting point is to run a technical SEO audit on your website. There are many free and paid tools available that can help you identify any technical issues that might be hurting your SEO performance.
And if you're not comfortable digging into the technical details yourself, that's where a company like Shield Media can really shine. Their team of experts can handle everything from website audits and optimization to mobile-first development and security implementation. They can be your partners in navigating the often complex world of technical SEO.
Right. They can help you lay a strong technical foundation for your website so you can focus on what you do best, running your business.
Well, this deep dive has been packed with insights. We started by debunking the myth of relying solely on external SEO metrics, then explored the power of creating truly valuable content. And finally, we dug into the importance of a strong technical foundation.
And the key takeaway here is that SEO is not a one-and-done task. It's an ongoing process of optimization, analysis, and refinement. It's about staying informed about the latest industry trends and adapting your strategies accordingly.
It's about viewing SEO as a long-term investment, not a quick fix. And remember, you don't have to go it alone. There are resources available, like the team at Shield Media, who can guide you every step of the way.
And be sure to follow the Excel Edge podcast show for more deep dives into the ever-changing world of digital marketing.
And don't forget to share this deep dive with anyone who might benefit from this knowledge. We'll see you next time.